Welcome back to another reading of The Adventures of Lord Blackwood, Explorer and Gentleman. Today we'll be reading Lord Blackwood's Revenge, brought to us by Smapty. Lord Blackwood's Revenge. Lord Theodore Thomas Blackwood, explorer and gentleman, crawled stealthily across high-value storage locker 23C, leaving a thin trail of slime behind him as he climbed up the table leg. The trip from his pen to the archives had taken hours, and adjusting the security cameras to hide his escape had been a Herculean effort in and of itself. Before long, his quarry was in sight, a small silver bell carelessly left out of its case by a junior researcher after the completion of today's tests. With all the strength the Englishman's diminutive form could muster, he pushed against the bell and knocked it on its side, producing the distant but distinct chime of a ringing bell. All was silent in high-value storage locker room 23C for a moment, and Lord Blackwood feared the bell had lost its magic, or he was in the wrong room. But his fears were dispelled when the door to the room, the triple-locked magnetically sealed door he had bypassed entirely on his daring expedition, effortlessly slid open, and an elderly man in a finely pressed suit entered and approached the table. "Good evening, Mr. Blackwood," said the man in a distinguished British accent. "How may I be of service?" "By Jove, Deeds!" Lord Blackwood cried out, his exuberant, aristocratic tones transmitting directly into Mr. Deeds's mind. "You haven't changed a bit. How the devil are you?" "Quite well, Mr. Blackwood," replied Deeds. "And may I say it is most pleasant to find myself in your company once again." "Smashing," said Lord Blackwood. "Now listen carefully. We've got to act fast. I don't know how long these buffoons in the guardhouse will be deceived by my little trick. Tonight, Deeds, you and I are going to bag the biggest catch since I rounded up that herd of stampeding bunyips back in '72. "Indeed, Mr. Blackwood." "Indubitably, Deeds. Do you recall that blasted rasc that eluded me in France? I've learned from one of the researchers here that same beast is being held in this very facility." Mr. Deeds nodded. "Indeed it is, sir. The Foundation refers to it by the name SCP-682. It may also interest you to know that—" "Dash it all, Deeds, this is no time for a history lesson." The impatience in Lord Blackwood's voice was palpable. "The clock is ticking, my friend. Now, here's what I need you to do first." Lord Blackwood paced to the extent that a nudibranch can, back and forth along the table. Nearly a half-hour had passed since Mr. Deeds had left on his task. Had he been captured? Was the jig up? Was he, after all this time, not as loyal as he had hoped? Footsteps rang out in the hallway, and Lord Blackwood looked around for a hiding place. None were within reach, but his fears were allayed when the door opened and Mr. Deeds entered. His suit was stained and wet, his previously immaculate coiffure a mess, and an offensively strong aroma of mint hung heavily about him. But just as Lord Blackwood had hoped, he carried in either hand a large jug, filled to the brim with a viscous green liquid. "As you requested, sir," Mr. Deeds said, gasping for breath, "2 imperial gallons of SCP-447-2. "Spectacular, Deeds!" exclaimed Lord Blackwood. "The trap is set and the pieces are in play. The time has come for us to make our move. Tell me, do you still have the Bowie knife you won off that Indian in '66? "Always, sir." "Excellent. You and I are going to the Tarrasque's lair. Once I get its attention, I want you to open both of those jugs, pour them all over yourself and then plunge the knife directly into your heart. Understood? Mr. Deed sighed. Yes, what shall we do then? Don't you worry about me, Lord Blackwood said. Once you're dead, I'll take care of the rest. Within the hour, my old friend, the backcountry horse doctors that run this establishment will be patting us on the back and pinning medals on our chests. Very good, sir, Mr. Deed said. Shall we be on our way? Lord Blackwood crawled up Mr. Deed's sleeve and perched on his shoulder as the trusty valet opened the door and made his way down the hallway. By jingo, the intrepid mollusk thought to himself, that old rascal won't even know what hit him. We need to stop using SCP-447-2 for killing things, because it doesn't go well. There are too many stories about how badly that goes. But for now, thank you very much for coming, everyone. It has been an honor rooting for you. Good luck out there, and I hope to see you all next time.